Welcome guys to another video here on the Man United Daily YouTube channel, and in this one I'll be talking about a few rumours that has been circulating over the past week. The first one I want to talk about is Angel Di Maria. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about his qualities because he plays for Real Madrid and obviously expressed his talents over the last 12 to 18 months really well and brought that consistency into his game that he's been lacking in early in his career. I thought Di Maria last season in the Champions League final especially was really tremendous, adding a lot of legs and a lot of pace injected into that Real Madrid free in midfield, and that was a bit of a new position for him, I guess, adjusting to that the third midfielder in the Real Madrid setup. But he managed to utilized and kind of like adapt himself into a suitable role in that area of the pitch, and I thought he played really well. In the World Cup he hasn't performed that well, but again, class is permanent and form is temporary, and I thought Di Maria has been quite disappointing, really erratic at times during this World Cup, but we all know what he can do with the ball at his feet. When he runs at defenders, he commits a lot of defenders, and that's the worst thing for a defender to face, one-on-one, and obviously facing someone who has a lot of tricks and skills, who can beat anyone on his day. So Di Maria definitely a great player and would be an asset for any team. There's been reports from the Spanish press stating that we are in contention for his signature at PSG, because he doesn't feel like he is kind of like the main man at Real Madrid, and that is kind of like always going to be a problem at Real Madrid because of this Galactico kind of like franchise that they've built over the past decade or so, because there's always going to be superstars in that team, and Di Maria, although he is a great player and a big name, he's not going to be in the same class as perhaps Gareth Bale or Cristiano Ronaldo. So he's always going to be in that bracket underneath those sort of very special players. So Di Maria, he could be tempted to be away. The fee suggested this week around 40 to 45 million euros, so would it not be a cheap deal at all. But if Louis van Gaal does want to inject some kind of proven quality at a very highest level in the wide areas, then Di Maria would be a very solid choice. Obviously, with Arsenal signing Alexis Sanchez yesterday night, that's brought on a lot of more kind of like competition within the domestic game, because now all the major clubs are investing well and very impactful signings. Arsenal now, their team look a lot stronger now with Alexis Sanchez, so we do need to up our game in certain areas in order to just stay with the bigger clubs in the Premier League itself. So Di Maria would be a great acquisition, but I doubt how much that is a possibility, with Ancelotti obviously liking him, and also the price and the lack of Champions League football this season would be a big factor in attracting a lot of these big players. So what do you guys think of Angel Di Maria? Would you guys like him to come, or would you invest your money wisely in other younger kind of like talent, like perhaps a Dutch winger like Memphis Depay, etc.? So leave your comment below on Angel Di Maria. Next one is Ricardo Rodriguez. He currently plays his trade for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga. He's a Swiss international, 21 years old, and played extremely well at the World Cup. I thought very impressive, and he's a left back, which is in corresponding to the rumours about Patrice Evra leaving the club for Juventus. That deal is to be said to be very imminent, so United would then be forced into looking for a understudy for Luke Shaw, which kind of like by signing Luke Shaw is kind of like a double-edged sword, if you like, in some ways, because he's such a talented player. We know that we have to play him regularly in order to express and kind of like fulfill his potential to the maximum capacity. But being so young, only 18, anyone else who is a couple years older, who's still regarded as young, will still kind of like I think it would be hard for a player to take that sort of secondary role when someone else is younger than them and playing regularly and as the first choice. So I don't know whether Rodriguez would be willing to take that sort of like understudy role. Whether if he performs well, he could even displace Luke Shaw, and that could cause some tension within the camp. So I don't know whether this transfer will actually go off, because Rodriguez, he's playing well for Wolfsburg, obviously their automatic starter at left back, and he has shown that he has potential to play a great role even as a starter for a lot of the top European clubs. So it will be hard for him to, I think, take a secondary role at United behind Luke Shaw. So it's a kind of like it's a very regional newspaper that has been publishing this rumour, so I doubt whether it has a lot of real interest from United. It might be just it's kind of like testing the waters from Ed Woodward and United, seeing whether there is a possibility that he could come and try to compete with Luke Shaw or not. I would be obviously bitterly disappointed if Patrice Evra does leave United, because he's been a fantastic servant, but if he does want to go for family reasons to Italy and also to compete in the Champions League perhaps, then I could understand it, because like I said, he's been a fantastic player and servant for the club, and we should not stand in the way if he wants to leave for passage new. But again, it's a problematic area if he does leave, because it only leaves Luke Shaw, and so we either need to kind of like perhaps graduate one of the academy players, perhaps Tyler Blackett, just to understudy Luke Shaw and play the cup games in order to get a bit of experience in the first team. So that could be another route, but Ricardo Rodriguez could be a viable option depending on how he would take being classed as an understudy to Luke Shaw. What do you guys make of this particular rumour? And leave your comment below on Ricardo Rodriguez. And the last one I want to talk about, and it's an update on Arturo Vidal. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumours in the past few weeks surrounding Vidal. There's lots of conflicting reports this week surrounding that particular transfer. Gazzetta di Sport, which is a kind of like Italian tabloid, has said that Juventus wants around 45 to 50 million pounds, which is a fee that I said a couple of videos back, and for the quality of him and also for the age and experience, I think that sort of figure would be justifiable in today's market. There's been a lot of talks, because Vidal and Alexis Sanchez sharing the same agent. He's been flying to Italy, back to England, probably concluding the Sanchez deal yesterday, but there's been a lot of rumours that he's been flying to Italy to kind of trash out a talk with Juventus over the clarity of Vidal's future. Gabriel Marcotti of ESPN, who is quite a very very reliable journalist, has said on one of the shows on ESPN that Juventus have to either sell Pogba or Vidal this summer. They don't have to, but if they were, they would be willing to sell at least one of the two. And they thought that Pogba will be the more likely, because they thought that they would be able to get ridiculous amount of money, around the £60 million mark, for him from either PSG or one of our other clubs. But it doesn't look like to be happening this summer, with a lot of clubs bolt and kind of like a bit unsure of that sort of amount of money for Pogba at this stage of his career. But Vidal seems to be the player who is getting pushed towards a transfer more than Pogba right now. But apparently Juventus is pushing him towards United more than any other club. I guess that makes sense in some kind of sense, because they're not going to be compete with us in Europe this season at least, and so that would eliminate us from a potential threat. But that would be kind of like I don't know, kind of like a sidetracked planning to their transfer, plan. So I think that'll be a weird reason, but Vidal would cost, upwards of £45 million. And if we do have a sniff, I think we should go and just test the waters really, because he will be a fantastic quality and addition to the squad. But that's the update for you guys. On Arturo Vidal. It's unclear at the moment on whether it's kind of like there's a sufficient amount of evidence that Juventus are willing to sell. So it's preliminary stages in that sort of process. So we just have to wait and see whether there's any more developments. That wraps up another video here on the Man United Daily YouTube channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment below on any of the stories mentioned, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And also, if you want to keep to be updated with the latest videos, please subscribe to the channel for more content. You can check me out as well on Twitter at Man United Daily, or visit the website at manuniteddaily.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.